And welcome everybody to Dawn's Monday 2 o'clock class on this fabulous Labor Day. And the song we are doing today is We've Only Just Begun. What a fabulous song this is. This is a single by the Carpenters. It was written actually by Roger Nichols and Paul Williams. This one was not written by the Carpenters. It's ranked number 414 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Wow. The song was originally recorded by Smokey Roberts, not Smokey Robertson, Smokey Robinson. Smokey Roberts, who was a friend of Nichols, and it debuted within a wedding-themed TV commercial for Crocker National Bank in California in 1970. So that started out to be kind of like a jingle type of a song. And Paul Williams was on the vocals. Well, I didn't write it down here, but I understand that the bank was going after a younger crowd, and so they wanted to get these young newlywed type crowds. And then they find out that young newlyweds don't have a lot of money, so it was kind of hard to, they kind of pulled that commercial quite quickly, actually. But Richard Carpenter saw the commercial, and he asked Williams, they both were under contract to A&M Records, so they kind of knew each other, if there was a full-length version of the song. And because the Carpenters had just had a hit called Close to You, We've Only Just Begun became the next #1 hit on the Cashbox Singles Chart and #3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Behind, okay, what could be in front of this song? Well, how about the Jackson 5's I'll Be There? I'll be there. And the Partridge Family actually beat them out with I Think I Love You. Wow, pretty interesting. Okay, so we've only just begun on page 322 of our book, and we have a little bit of a road map. The road map is not that difficult, but you do have to watch. You have a first ending on page 1, third line, where you have 2 dots, a thin line and a thick line. It takes you back to the beginning for the second verse. The second verse takes you 1 line, 2 lines, half of the next line. The second ending, which is line 4. Pardon?
From 2 to 3. The mic is on, so she can hear you.
Well, watch your microphones. Yep. And then we keep on playing line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4 of the second page. And you have 2 double lines. Now, what that marks is the end of a section. The end of a section, not the end of a song. But then it gives you some instructions. It says D-C al coda. Da capo, from the head, al coda, to the tail. Everything's always in Italian. That's just the way music is. So you're going to return to the head of the song, which is the beginning. So if you want to make colors, then you'd make another color. And now you're going to play until we find the 2 coda. The 2 coda is right before the first ending. So basically, it's just you're going to jump to a third ending. They could have actually put ending 3 here. And then I'm also going to put some repeat dots at the end, but don't do it yet because I'm going to give you a couple of measures to repeat and fade out. Fading out was very prominent in the 70s. Now, if you want to end it on that B chord, you may, but I've actually crossed that entire last measure out and throw it away. And we're going to end on the middle 2 measures of the coda. We've only just begun. And you're going to put your repeat signs on either sides of those 2 measures. And the ones on the end would be 2 dots, a thin line and a thick line, and then between the first and second, you're going to put the thick line, the thin line, and the 2 dots. And that'll give you the repeats so that at the end, you're just going to repeat those 2 measures and fade it out. And fade it out. Very typical of 1970s music. All right, any questions or problems with the roadmap? It's actually pretty cut and dried as to how that works.
Just one going on that.
Okay.
The last line on page 2, when you put your ending in there, you're going back to the first part of that 4th line. correct?
Not the first part. You're going to in between the first and second measure. So you're only going to be repeating 2 measures. We've only just begun. Skip the
As the
last measure, throw it away, and go back to in between the first and second measure of the coda. You don't want to do room to grow. You want to just keep doing we've only just begun.
Okay,
Okay?
got
Good
it.
question. Good question. All right, let's do some chords. And oh boy, I hope you have some sharp pencils. You need sharp pencils for your chords, so let's go ahead. The G chord is fine exactly the way it is. Make the C a C major 7, which is C and B, chickens and butterflies. And you know what? At this stage of the game, if you don't want to play it the wide way, you can play B and C. It's okay. It's all right. You can cheat at this stage. Second line, B minor. You may put a 7 on the B minor. Your notes are D, A, and B. Dragonflies, alligators, and butterflies. You may put a 7 on the E minor. You have to play the E and G, but you may add the D. So your 3 notes would be dragonflies, elephants, and gorillas. Now, over the F sharp, beat 3 of that measure. Make it an E minor 9. Now, this is only for people that really want to challenge themselves. If you'd prefer not to, you're already on an E minor 7. Just keep it there. It's good. An E minor 9 uses those same 3 notes, but adds an F sharp. It adds an F sharp. So your 4 notes would be D, E, F sharp, and G. Here's an E minor. Oop, where's the easy button? Here's an E minor 7. And here's the E minor 9. Ooh, is that a pretty chord?
What is that chord again, Dawn?
E minor 9. E minor 9.
But what are the letters?
D, dinosaur. E, elephant. F sharp, and G, gorilla.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next one's an A minor. You can play A minor. You can play A minor 7, or you can play an A minor 9. Those are always 4-fingered chords. And your notes are G, A, B, C. And the C can go top or bottom, doesn't matter. It's just, I just think it's easier to take these 4 fingers and put them right there. A minor 9. If you'd rather play it with the C on the bottom, my fingers are kind of short. They don't like that. So it's easier to just put those 4 fingers right there. All right. Line 3, first measure over the F sharp. Go back to the E minor 9. Now, if you'd rather make it just a plain old E minor, that's fine. If you'd rather make it an E minor 7, that's fine. Or make it the E minor 9, which is 4 fingers. D, E, F sharp, G. They're always 4 notes right in a row. First ending. First beat over the B for the word on. A minor, alligator minor, or alligator minor 7. Or make it an A minor 9, which are these 4 fingers up here again. So you're going back and forth between the E minor 9 and the A minor 9. Beautiful chords. The D at the end of the first ending, make it a D sus, S-U-S. That's a suspended fourth. Or you can make it a D7 suspended fourth. And your notes for that, if you're just playing the D sus, it's D, G, A, and it's a hanging chord. Just kind of hangs there. And if you want to put the 7 in, you're going to do a C, D, G, A. C, D, G, A. For 2 counts. Then beat 3, go back to a plain old D or a D7. So it's going to actually resolve. Okay, let's go to the second ending. Over the B for the word learn. A minor, alligator minor, or alligator minor 9. You should have those 4 notes down by now. The D in measure 2, make it a D sus or a D7 sus. C, D, G, A, that's the full D7 sus. And it'll say that in your window. So if you watch your window, it'll let you know if you got your fingers on the right note or not. So use that as a guide, as a check. Okay, the last G, you want to make that a G major 7, capital M-A-J 7. Remember, major 7s are the letter -1. So your 2 notes are F sharp and G. And that's good for 2 counts. Beat 3 of that measure, put in a C major 7, chicken major 7. It's C and B, or B and C, whichever way you want to go. Go to the top of the second page. First measure, first beat, G major 7, F sharp and G. Beat 3, which is before the rest, you're going to do another C major 7, chicken major 7, C and B, and then over the quarter rest, which is beat 4, put in a plain old D, dragonfly. The E is good for 2 counts. Over the B for the word or it's I, horizons, over the I, put an A major 7. A major 7, alligator, capital M-A-J 7. Your 2 notes are G sharp and A, right next to each other. Second line, first measure, first beat. Over the G sharp, put in a plain old E, elephant. Beat 3, put in an A major 7, alligator major 7, G sharp and A. Second measure, over the E, put in a plain old E. Beat 3, over the B for signs. A major 7, alligator major 7, which is G sharp and A. Last measure of that line, over the G sharp, beat 1, E major 7, elephant major 7. 2 notes are D sharp and E, right next to each other. Beautiful jazz chords, they're fabulous. And then beat 3 of that measure, A major 7, alligator major 7, G sharp and A. Now we're going to go
Can
ahead.
you go through that line once again?
Yes, Ramon. Beat 1 of the first measure, over the word new, E, plain old elephant. Beat 3 of that measure, A major 7, G sharp and A. Beat 1 of the second measure, over the word watch, E, plain old elephant. Beat 3 of that measure, over the B for the word signs, A major 7, G sharp and A. And the last measure, over the G sharp for way, beat 1 is E major 7, D sharp and E for 2 counts. Beat 3 is A major 7, G sharp and A. Got it? Okay, the next line, the A flat, is good right where it is. Now we're going into a whole new key center. A flat is good for 2 counts. Over the E flat for over, beat 3, put in a D flat, major 7, dinosaur flat, major 7. And your 2 notes are C and D flat. Remember, they're always right next to each other. It's the letter -1. The next measure, beat 1 over the C for the word 2. A flat, alligator flat. And beat 3, go back to your D flat major 7, dinosaur flat major 7, which is C and D flat. Fourth line.
Dawn, could I interrupt you?
You
That
sure
last
can.
measure there, that
The
last
last
measure you
measure?
said over the word two is A flat. And then
Correct.
what was next after that?
Beat the third beat, put in
Okay,
a D flat major 7. We just had it in the last measure.
right. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. It's C and D flat. Let's
Thank
go to
you.
the next line. Over the E flat for work. A flat, alligator flat. Beat 3. Over the E flat for together. D flat, major 7. You're just toggling back and forth between those two. D flat, major 7 is C and D flat. Now, the next measure, cross out the A minor, and we're going to replace it with D suspended 4, just put S-U-S, and you might want to put the 7 on that, D7 sus. You've had that one before. It's C, D, G, and A, and it's one of those cool hanging chords. All right, then the D7 is fine right where it is.
Dawn,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Don't
That
be sorry.
D7 thus fourth, that's over the A flat for day.
No, no, it's in the next measure instead of the A minor chord.
Oh, I'm glad I asked. Thank
Yes,
you.
I am too. Move it over a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. That's when you're supposed to stop me, is when you're not sure and you mess up. It's over. Instead of the A minor chord, we're going to do D7 sus.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. The coda, over the B for room. A minor, alligator minor, or alligator minor 7, or A minor 9. That's that 4-fingered chord. G, A, B, C. That's such a pretty chord. But I'm going to make you work for this one. You know that. I had to put in all those extra ones, make it a challenge. Oh, the D, make it a D7 sus. D7 sus, you just had it. C, D, G, A. Now, if you don't like that, just play plain old D. You know that all these chords are completely optional, and if you just pick one chord to learn, you are 100% successful. So do it on your own time. You don't have to put them all in. And that last G, make it a G major 7, which is F sharp and G. And then take that last measure with the B and cross it out and throw it away. You don't want it at all, because we're going to fade it out. Okay. Now, you guys have a song set up on this one. Song setup is the signature background for this song, and it comes up to 70s love song. This is the perfect background, but it's not the only one. And it comes up at 77, either 75, 77. That's perfect speed for that as well. And we're going to use the alter style because it was designed to put the alter style in at the bridge. Well, where are you going to add the alter style? Top of the second page, right before sharing horizons. Right as you're playing that last D chord that we added, you want to you're going to take your right hand and you're going to add the alter style because you're playing chords. And then you're going to come back and hit the right notes. Challenging? Yes, you can do it. And then when we get down to line 4 on the second page, where we crossed out the A minor and went to the D sus, once you play that D sus, lift your hand, reach up, and turn your alter style off and play together. Play that without the alter style and then finish the song. But that's the perfect alter style, because listen to what the background does. No alter style gives you this. And with the alter style, you get all those trumpet blasts. Okay, so that's the signature background for We've Only Just Begun is your 70s love song. Now,
Dawn,
because,
Dawn,
Dawn,
yes,
Dawn,
uh,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Dawn, could you do the first line of the song again, please?
The first line of the song, as far as
Mhm.
chord,
Yeah. Did
before
you change G?
the G is fine.
Okay,
I changed the C to a C major 7,
okay.
which is C and B, chickens and butterflies.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who else had a
One more,
question?
Dawn. One more, Don, yes. Where did you turn the altar style off?
I turned it off right after you play your D sus chord on line 4, right after working together day to day. Right there, before you get to the GGA together, right before you get to that, reach up and turn your altar style off.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, if you've got a different background, try your altar styles and see if they even work. If you go to the love ballad, going to the altar style didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, it took me to a temptation song that I did not want for this. So if you're going to use the love ballad, don't go to the altar style. Then just fill in with a lot of effects and fill-ins. You can go to contempo, folk style, and that one works very well. And you can also go to the altar style, and it works pretty well on that.
Can't hear you.
You can also go to bossa nova. You can always do ballads and stuff on bossa nova.
Dawn,
Yes?
yeah, on second page,
Uh-huh.
line 1, can
Huh?
you give me the chord right after the G major 7?
Yes. It's G major 7 is beat 1. Second page, line 1. The first chord is G major 7, F sharp and G for 2 counts. Beat 3 is C major 7, chicken major 7 for 1 count. And over the quarter rest, beat 4 is plain old D, dinosaur.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So Dawn,
Yes?
you don't use alto style when you first start the song. You just
No.
put it. Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah,
Got
you started on regular.
Right. And then
Add the
up to
altar
second
style
key. Yeah.
right
got it.
before Sharing Horizons, and
Yep.
then when you get done with the bridge, before you get to the together, then turn your
Right.
style off.
Turn it off. Thank you.
And
Hey,
you'll
Dawn,
hear it.
Dawn, on the
Yes.
second page, on the 4th line, at the
Uh-huh.
last line where it says together,
Uh-huh.
in the original song, they actually repeated that, and then they kind of went up a little bit at the end of it. Do you know what they did there? They go to a C
No,
or
I
D?
I don't know.
Yeah, they did together. You know, they actually repeated it and raised it up a little bit.
Oh, that's just an octave up. That's just an echo.
Okay.
Or it could be it could be a little transpose in there. But you know what? Let's not mess with that today. If I'll go back and listen to the original and check on that for you.
Yeah, okay.
But I believe you are correct that there is a little echo of some kind in there. But let's
John,
not mess with that today.
Where did you say the bridge was?
The bridge is starting at where we added the altar, sharing horizons that are new to us. We're in a whole different key, watching the signs along the way, talking it over just the two of us, working together day to day. That's the bridge. It's the
Okay.
one part of the song that you don't play again. That part gets played one time. The beginning part of the song gets played 3 times.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. I'm going to play this. I know I still have fingering to do. I'm going to play this on the 70s love song. Now, those of you that have the smaller instruments, on a Freedom 3, the mellow, easy 8-beat at 75 is perfect. And on any of the easies, easy 10, easy 4, easy 3, easy 2, easy 1, any of your smooths. I preferred the smooth full band, but you choose what you like. I also happen to like the flute sound. The flute duet is very nice on this, and that's the way your song setup comes up for those of you that have that. So here we go. We've only just begun. See how perfect that is? It's the signature. Fade it out.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. But I think I've challenged you guys a little bit. You got to reach up and push this button while you're changing chords. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Now remember, all those extra chords are optional, but I think you're going to like the movement that it puts in, and it really helps the song. It really helps the song. Okay, so let's do some fingering. Now, if you notice, too, my timing was not exactly the way it's written. As a matter of fact, the original sheet music isn't written exactly this way. There's a lot more stop here, 16th notes here, you know, 8th rest in here. They write the easy play as simply as possible, and then it's just up to us to use the notes as a guide, but play the timing the way we remember it being sung. On line 3, where we have a kiss for luck, you notice I played the chord first and waited, a kiss for luck and we're on our way. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the chord first with a couple of rests in there. But I didn't want to rewrite it, so I'm going to let you guys play it the way you hear it. Play it the way you remember it being done. If you play it exactly the way it's written, it's going to sound a little bit stilted because that's just easy play. So play it the way you sing it. That's the best advice I can give you on this or any song that's out there. All right, fingering, here we go. D1, E2. G can either be 3 or 1 with a circle, depending on if you want to tuck or not. Again, G is either 3 or 1. The D is 5. B3, D4, second line D5. At the end of that held D, check mark. F sharp 4, E3, D2, B1, A2 with a circle, G1. Third line, F sharp 4, F sharp 4, G5, G5, E3, D2, be 1, C can be 2 or 3, and A is 1. And if you wanted to add a B in between there, you could add a B in between the C and the A and just run your fingers down. Let's go to the second ending. B1, C is either 2 or 3, and A is 1. And again, if you want to add a B in between the C and A, go ahead and play 3, 2, 1. Check mark. D1, E2, G can either be 3 or 1 with a circle, depending on whether or not you want to do a thumb tuck. The next G, same thing, either 3 or 1. Stick with what you did the first time. D5, B3. Let's go to the bridge, the top of the second page. E5, B3, G sharp, 2, B3, C sharp, 4, E1, A3, G sharp 2, F sharp 1, G sharp 2. Oh my, we're breaking another rule, aren't we? I usually tell you don't put your right hand thumb on black keys. Sometimes you have to, and sometimes it works very well. Watching the signs, E5, B3, G sharp 2, B3, C sharp 4, E1, A3, G sharp 2. All right, now there's 2 different ways to do this one. Let's do what I think is the easiest. I always end up with my third finger up there. I did originally write it was E flat 4, but I actually think it's easier to play E flat 3. You decide. E flat 3, E flat 3, C1, E flat 3, F5, A flat 1, B flat 2, C3, B flat 2, C3. Same thing here. I originally had an E flat 4 and I changed it because my finger just wants to go E flat 3. So let's do that way. E flat 3, E flat 3, C1, E flat 3, F5, A flat 1, B flat 2, C3, G1, G1, A2, the coda, B1, C can either be 2 or 3, and A is 1. And if you want to put a B in between C and A, go ahead. And your last 2 measures that you're going to repeat, D1, you actually should put a check mark there because you're going from an A1 to a D1. D1, E2, G can either be 3 or 1. If you're making it a 1, put a little circle around it to remind yourself you're tucking it under. G, 3 or 1, D5 and B3, and that's it. Now, caution, if you are using song setup with 70s Love Song, we're so tempted to use a fill-in when we have long notes. And I'm going to caution you against using your fill-ins until you get to the bottom of the first page. Why? Because if you're playing the first line and you use a fill-in, it's going to sound like this and you're not going to like it. Whoops, I don't want the intro, sorry.
So,
Don't want that trumpet in there, not yet. You want this to be peaceful, birdies, you know, all kinds of stuff. You don't want that trumpet coming in. So if you have to remind yourself on this background, no fill-in. No fill-in when you've got that held D, because that's just going to wreck it. Same thing between the first ending and going back. When you're on that long A, no fill-in, because you don't want those trumpets. Now you can throw them in when you get to the last line, and yes, we've just begun with the G major 7. Okay, because then you want those. You're leading into the altar style, which has the trumpets in it already. So then you can play that complete altar style, the bridge, with just that altar style, and it's going to add those trumpets. And it's perfect for that.
Dawn,
Questions?
Dawn, that, at the very end where you said you could put a fill in, that would be between the two dots. That would be between,
No, not
after
at the very end. At the last line of page 1.
oh, okay.
The
So
last line of, yeah, the
page
last
one,
line of page
after the-
1. When you get to that begun and you're holding that B and you're playing the G major 7 and
major
the C
7.
major 7, you can
Yeah.
use your fill in there because now those trumpets are leading you into the
Okay.
altar style, which has those as well.
Okay, so you put it in before the altar style. Okay.
You can,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the only place that I would really recommend using your fill-in because it's just leading into that adding the altar style. Otherwise, let it alone. Don't
Right.
do it. I have a tendency to overuse my fill-ins, and yes, if I forget and play it up here, it's not going to sound right. So I usually have to write myself a note. Do not use fill. Do not
Okay.
use FX because it's going to wreck it in this case. Now, if you're
Right.
on any of the other rhythm styles, like your contempo folk style, you could go ahead and use it there because the fill-in is different. It's not going to be that signature fill-in, and it's going to give you a completely different flavor.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to try other things. Any other questions? How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing really good.
Hey, Dawn, I just checked on the end of that, the second ending when before the DCL coda.
Mm-hmm.
If you add that extra measure and just play C, C, and D, that would give you that extra little fill in.
C and D would do it? Okay.
C, C, D does it.
Yeah, that would do it. That'll work. If
Yeah,
you wanted to do a little echo, please feel free to do that. Yep.
Where would that be?
That would be at when you turn off the altar style and you do together, the GGA. Then what Joe is suggesting is you do a CCD together.
Oh,
And add
But
an
you
extra
know,
measure.
you can, you don't have to. That's listen to it, see what you think. If you really have to put that in there, go for it. If you're hearing it,
after the
write
last
it
bit.
in.
okay.
Write it
After-
in. It's your arrangement, so you can play it or not. This is what's cool about music. We are the arrangers. We are the musician. We get our choice of how we want to play this song.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. I'm going to play it one more time, but I'm going to use the folk style, which is completely different, and see what you think. Now, if you want to play along with me, first of all, make sure you're muted, and then go sit at your instrument. You want to do one hand at a time and pick up the chords, go ahead. Or if you want to pick up just the right hand, go ahead. Just make sure you're muted so it doesn't interfere. And I'm going to play it on contempo folk style. works. I'm not as crazy about that one as I am the original, because of course the original was written to fit this song.
John, I lost you when you got back to, when you got to DCL Coda, then you went back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, then you go back to the beginning, pick up verse 3, and you play verse 3, and when you get to the 2 coda, you jump down here to the coda.
Okay, then you play only to 2 coda and then jump down to the coda on the bottom.
Correct. Then you jump to the end. It's basically your coda is your final ending. It's ending 3.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions?
Gotta practice.
This will be a nice challenge for you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're using a lot of chords because you're actually changing key centers several times. So you're going into the sharps, then you go into the flats, and so it's going to give your hand, both your hands, a really nice workout, but it's worth it for the song because I really think it adds. Okay, let's
So
see.
have a glass of wine before you do it.
Yeah, relax, yeah. All right, next week we have What a Wonderful World. Ooh, pretty song. Okay. Very cool.
Oh, that's got a lot of notes.
Yep, that's got enough already. Yep.
Well,
We'll have some fun with that. Well, enjoy the
Sure.
rest of your Labor Day today. And I will see
You
some
too.
of you tomorrow, and the rest of you I will see on the
Are
concert
you,
Friday at 2, and then I will see you all for next week's Monday. Oh my. Is next week's not the 14th already, is it?
yep.
Oh, guess what? I'm going to be on the concert on 3 o'clock on Monday.
Oh,
Ooh.
are you having class then?
Well, we will have class from 2 to 3, and then there's
Okay.
going to be a 3 o'clock concert, so I'm going to cut it. I'll have to cut it like 15 minutes short so I can get into hair and makeup, you know. And get There's going to be 3 artists. It's going to be myself, Joni, and Carrie Price. So
Oh,
you've
wow.
got 3 completely different styles of music. So it should be very fun to see what we all do.
Are you gonna sing?
Should I?
And what
Yeah.
is that, Dawn?
Yeah. I'm not going to
Yeah.
sing them all. No, I'll sing at least one of them.
Oh, good.
Okay?
Just don't do,
Just don't do what?
just don't do Tiny Tim.
I won't do Tiny Tim, I
Oh,
promise. Yep.
Gosh.
Sean was amazing doing Tiny Tim.
He
Oh,
was,
yes.
he did a good job.
We have lots of talent in the company. It's so
Ah.
wonderful. So wonderful. And everybody, as you're finding out, everybody has a completely different style, and it's so much fun. Yep. Let's see. Who did I want to talk to? Leon, I do have some information for you, and Virginia and Dee, if I have time, I will call you right after class, okay? The rest of you, if you think you need to see an instrument, it is Labor Day. We are having some Labor Day specials. Email me, give me a call, or come on in. I'll be here until 5 o'clock. You guys are
Thank
the
you, Dawn.
awesomest.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Barb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
now.
you for
Love you
everything, Dawn.
guys.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.